Welcome to Sophie Daddy's channel. What if I told you that the smartest hedge funds in the world aren't really in the business of picking stocks anymore? It's true. They've evolved into something completely different, something more like high-tech engineering firms. They build these massive, incredibly complex factories. But these factories, they don't make cars, they don't make microchips. They are designed to manufacture profit from one of the most mysterious forces in the market, volatility itself. So how on earth do they do that? Well, let's step inside the factory and find out.
This quote from our source material just nails it, doesn't it? This isn't about some trader's gut feeling or a hot tip they heard. No way. We are talking about a world of seriously heavy-duty math, enormous data pipelines, and cutting-edge game theory. It's all about treating the market less like a collection of stories and more like a physical system, one that you can model, map, and, even manipulate. To get to the bottom of that, we are going to pull back the curtain on this super secretive world of quantitative hedge funds. We're going to walk through the entire assembly line together, from the moment the raw data comes in to the final perfectly executed trade. You're going to see exactly how concepts like fear and uncertainty are literally transformed into a systematic, harvestable product.
All right, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the big picture, this idea of the industrialization of volatility. Then we'll dig into the most crucial ingredient of all, data, and a nasty hidden bias that can absolutely destroy a strategy. After that, we'll see how funds create these incredible maps of market fear, we'll open up their core playbook, and we'll see how a cool theory becomes a real trade. And finally, we'll look ahead to how AI is getting ready to shake this whole thing up.
So what is this business really about at its core? Well, it's all about systematically trading the gap between what the market thinks is going to happen, that's what we call implied volatility, and what actually ends up happening, which we call realized volatility. And that gap, that is the fundamental raw material for this entire factory.
And that gap has a name, the volatility risk premium, or VRP. The easiest way to think about it is like an insurance premium. You pay your home insurance every month, right? Most of the time, your house doesn't burn down, so the insurance company just gets to pocket those premiums. Well, it's the same idea here. Markets are often less crazy than options prices would have you believe. So, the funds that sell insurance against that craziness get to systematically collect this premium over time. The VRP is the fuel that powers the whole operation.
And this is the assembly line that processes that fuel. It's a 5-step, totally industrialized process. You start with raw data, which you have to clean meticulously. Then you use that data to build a mathematical model, basically a map of the market. From that map, you find your signals, your trading opportunities. You bundle those signals up into a portfolio, and finally, you execute the trades with robotic precision. So let's start at the very beginning, with the data.
Now I know what you're thinking. Data sounds kind of boring, but listen, in this world, it is absolutely the most critical step. Bad data isn't just a small problem, it's a ticking time bomb. One single error at this stage can make every single thing that comes after it completely worthless. And there's one particular error that's known as the silent killer.
It's called survivorship bias. Here's what happens. A lot of data providers, just to make their databases look nice and tidy, will simply delete companies that went bankrupt or got delisted. But think about it. If you're a volatility seller, you are selling insurance against exactly those kinds of blowups. Forgetting about companies like Enron or Lehman Brothers is like running an insurance company while pretending that fires and hurricanes just don't happen.
And just look at the damage that one error can do. On the left, you've got a backtest that's infected with this bias. It looks absolutely beautiful, right? A real money printing machine. But then on the right, you see the reality. Once you add back in the companies that actually failed, the strategy is exposed. It's a broken machine that leads to catastrophic wipeout losses. It's a terrifying illusion that can make a terrible strategy look like a stroke of genius.
Okay, so let's assume our data is now perfectly clean. The very next step in our factory is to build the map. But this isn't a map of roads or cities. It's a map of uncertainty. They call it the implied volatility surface, but I think a cooler way to think of it is as a 3D map of the market's collective fear.
So the big engineering challenge is this. Options only trade at certain prices and on certain dates. So what you have is just a scattered cloud of data points. The goal is to intelligently connect all those dots to create one smooth, continuous surface. And the most important part is that this surface has to be arbitrage-free, which is just a fancy way of saying there can't be any free money loopholes or logical contradictions in your map.
And the tool that basically everyone in the industry uses to do this is a model called SVI. Now, you do not need to know the crazy math behind it, just the idea. Think of it like a control panel with a bunch of dials. As you can see here,
One dial cranks up the overall level of fear. Another one changes the steepness of the curve. Another one controls the tilt. By tuning these dials just right, these funds can create a perfect mathematical map of that market fear, what's famously known as the volatility smile.
So, our data is clean. Our map of fear is built. Now what? Well, now it's time to run the plays. You can think of the factory as having two main product lines. The first is about capturing a well-known market premium. That's kind of their beta product. The other is a much more complex arbitrage play. That's their alpha product. Let's take a look at both.
Play number one is the beta product, the real bread and butter of the factory, just harvesting that volatility risk premium we talked about. This is the most fundamental strategy they run. It's all about systematically selling options, making that same consistent bet over and over that the market's fear is usually bigger than its bite. It's the core insurance selling business model designed to collect a steady stream of premium.
But how they do this really matters. A fund could just sell a classic options position, called a straddle, but that requires constant expensive adjustments. Or they could use a much sleeker, more sophisticated instrument called a variance swap. The swap is way more efficient and has lower costs, but it comes with a terrifying trade-off. The risk during a market crash isn't just big, it's quadratic. That means your losses don't just add up, they multiply exponentially. It's a classic engineering dilemma. Do you want efficiency or do you want safety?
Okay, the second play is the alpha product, a pure arbitrage called dispersion. Now this is really cool. It's not a bet on whether the market goes up or down. It's a bet on correlation. The trade is to sell volatility on an entire index, like the S&P 500, and at the same time buy volatility on all the individual stocks inside that index. You make money if the individual stocks are flying all over the place, but their crazy movements cancel each other out, leaving the overall index pretty calm. So it's a pure skill-based bet that correlation will be low.
All right, let's move to the final station in our factory, execution. This is where the rubber meets the road. Because you can have the most brilliant strategy on a spreadsheet, but it is completely useless if all your profits get eaten up by transaction costs when you actually try to trade it in the real world. This is the problem of friction.
And here is the central dilemma. To manage your risk, you have to constantly rebalance your portfolio. It's called delta hedging. But every single time you make a trade, you have to pay a fee. So if you hedge too much, you'll go broke from all the costs. But if you don't hedge enough, one big market move could wipe you out completely. So, what do? What's the perfect balance?
Well, the solution is just brilliant. The algorithms use something called a no-trade band. They are constantly watching the portfolio's risk level, and as long as that risk stays inside a pre-calculated comfort zone, that's the band, the algorithm does absolutely nothing. It's only when the risk drifts outside that band that the algorithm says, okay, the danger of being unhedged is now officially bigger than the cost of making a trade, and only then does it execute. It's an incredibly smart way to balance that risk versus cost trade-off.
So we've built our factory. It's pretty impressive. But of course, technology never stands still. The next great revolution in this space is already here, and it's being driven by artificial intelligence, specifically a technique called reinforcement learning. And it's poised to reinvent this entire process from the ground.
And this slide really gets to the heart of the paradigm shift. Traditional models, like the famous Black-Scholes model, are designed to answer one simple question. What's the fair price of this option? But an AI agent that's built with reinforcement learning asks a much more powerful question. It asks, okay, given everything happening in the market right now and what's in my portfolio, what is the single best action for me to take? It moves from just pricing things to actually making intelligent decisions. And this is the part that just blows my mind. These AI agents, they're trained in these super realistic market simulators. They are not given the formula for that no-trade band we just talked about. Instead, through millions and millions of trials and errors, they actually discover that concept all on their own. They learn how to balance risk and cost from scratch, and in the process, they might just discover strategies that are way more effective than anything a human has ever designed.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. We've seen how finance has been industrialized, how volatility has been turned into a manufactured product, and now we're seeing AI get ready to perfect the factory that builds it. And this raises a really profound question. As we hand over the incredibly complex job of managing financial risk to these ever smarter, ever more autonomous machines, what new, unforeseen kinds of risk are we accidentally creating for the entire system and for ourselves?